I hope you can able to see my screen. Anybody, could you please confirm?
Yes, sir.
Cool then. So, yeah. So yesterday we have done, we have built it as a package, the package which is residing at Jenkins. I have seen some issue, there's some chatting was going on over the chat box, right? All right. So I'll address those, conversation a bit later. So at this point in time, we do have a package which is on Jenkins mission. Let me trigger that. So, right. So it is a server. Cool. So today, what are we going to do in the sense? So here we do have the var file, right? So we do have the var file. And this var file, before deploying into the microservices, before deploying into the container, we need to understand whether the application as it is running or not. So what are we going to do? I'm just going to bring up application server. Okay, so when I say application server, which is nothing but your Tomcat. All right, so it is your application server. Using this application, let's try to deploy this var file top of application server. Then let's try to expose this application to an end user. Then if we can able to fetch our application, then we will deploy the same application into the container. All right. So here we need to create one more server, which is nothing but for Tomcat. And after done the configuration of your Tomcat, let's try to deploy this var file top of your application. Right. Cool then. So let me come back to Jenkins server. Let's try to connect with Jenkins. I just want to log in into the terminal, which is yeah. Let me log in into that. So here, yeah, perfect. So so let me connect SSH-I and Singapore 3.10 file, and which is sorry, EC2-user@IP. All right, perfect. So here, service Jenkins start. So it is your Jenkins which is running. I just want to connect with your Jenkins UI as well. Port number 8080. All right. Perfect. So here, let me try to log in. Admin. Could you please go on mute? Thank you. Right. So here we do have the verified, which is here. Give me a moment. Let me connect my charger. All right, thank you. So here we do have the package. Yeah, so we just built it that var file. Just go to the target, and here you can see the var file which is available. right? So ideally, yesterday I was explaining in the real-time stuffs how we used to deploy it into this QA or dev or production. Definitely, they used to go for S3 bucket. So this war file we can push into this S3 bucket, right? And here we need to create API. Using by this API, we can able to deploy into the testing server. And I mean, for exposing this application, what is your hardening part and what is your CIS benchmark, right? And what are the dependency package which is required for this application? All the stuffs we need to put into the testing server. When I say testing server, which is nothing but your QA, right? So once everything, if it is goes well, then the QA server, they will take it as your image. They will convert it as your image, and this image we can push into auto scaling. And in this auto scaling, we can define the replica size of your server. How many server if you need? Let's consider I need the 3 server 24/7, it should be running. So the 3 server, if it is reached a threshold, I should have the backup, which is I can define 3 server or 5 server. It's again depends on your load. So this part, I hope already we have done in AWS, right? So this is the flow we used to do in AWS. So could you remember that? Is it, are you able to remember that? So the deployment of auto scaling.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Great.
Yes.
Great. So yeah, so the same way, so there we skipped the Jenkins. So now we do have the war file. From the war file pushing into S3 bucket, and again QA server will be there. QA server you need to convert it as a AMI, and from the AMI define into the launch configuration. From the launch configuration define into the auto scaling. This part already we have done in AWS, right? So how to deploy the application into AWS. So you can say this flow, right? So now we do have the WAR file in Jenkins. Directly, I'm just going to deploy into the application server. I'm not going to bring up all these components. All right, so all these components I'm just going to bring up, in containerization as well, using by orchestration, which is Kubernetes. We'll do that a bit later. Perfect. So now we want to bring up Tomcat server, which is nothing but we are trying to deploy Tomcat, Apache Tomcat, right? So Apache Tomcat will download this Apache Tomcat package, and top of this application server, let's try to deploy our application as well. Perfect. So go back to bringing up new EC2 instance. I just want to terminate all this. All right, so let me create a new server for Apache Tomcat. Okay, so let me bring up again Linux, or you can go with Red Hat as well, not an issue. So for Apache Tomcat, yeah, would be fine. So T2 macro would be fine. So I just want to enable the public IP to access this application. Let it be, and perfect. So here add storage tag, which I can say name, which is Tomcat server. All right, and security group. Fine. I just want to choose the existing security group. See, for Tomcat, the port number is 8080. So to access the Tomcat UI. Okay, but in in the real world, the default port security team will never allow us to use. So everyone, it's a centralized port number which it is associated by the Tomcat organization, right? So ideally, we should not use the default port number. We need to customize some other port number between 02655535. You can customize any port number for the Tomcat. So I will show you how to do the changes of your port number inside of the configuration file. That is recommended. Don't use the default port number. All right, so here, I'm just opening all traffic, let it be. Okay, so again, I'm just going to spin up the server for Tomcat. Let me choose the keypad. Let me log in. All right. Perfect. So here we do have the Tomcat server, which is spinning up here. Yeah, perfect. So now let's try to connect with the terminal of Tomcat server. And before deploying Tomcat, there is some dependency we need to install Java. Okay, so Java, that is the dependency to spin up of your, to trigger of your Apache Tomcat. So first, let's try to install Java package on top of Linux box. Then we can download that Apache Tomcat from the internet to deploy on top of, again, Linux box. All right, so let me try to connect. I just want to make it a new tab, which is, I can go with, yeah. Perfect. So here, SSH-I, and which is Singapore 3, and EC2-user at the rate or IP. So here 14.13, that is the Apache Tomcat server. 14.13, that is your Apache Tomcat server. All right. So first, let's try to update a repository. I'm doing a repository update over here. Is there any updated package? It's pulling from that repo. Some updation is there. Perfect. So we just updated. Yeah. So here, let me see. Sorry. Right. So what are the updation is done? Okay. So perfect. So now let me try to install that Java package. Yum install Java 1.8 version, and that would be the latest version. So I just want to install the Java package. It's pulling. So that is the dependency always before configuring Apache Tomcat. First we need to install the Java package, because Apache Tomcat, it has the services which is Catalina script. Okay, so when you want to trigger the Catalina script, there is the dependency which is Java. I'll show you. So now I'm just downloading the Java package. So now here you can see where is Java. So in this location, we do have the Java package. Okay, instead of bin directory, we do have the Java package, and even the zip files are also, which is downloaded. All right. So here, let me, yeah, sure. So here, when you do the Tomcat, right? So first, what we need to do, the step one, what I have done, which is nothing but, updating the repository. 1 second. Yeah, sure. Okay, so step one, I have installed Java package. Install Java package. Okay, so step two, we need to install wget, because right now we are using command, right? So the next scenario, we are going to write it down the script, what are the steps which we followed. Okay, so that's very important. So yes, so next I need to install wget. Why do I need wget? In the sense to download the package from the internet, right? So for that I need wget. You just go back to see here. Your process ID for uh, Java, which is 365. All right. So here we need to install, wget package. I just go to the /opt location. So here, oops. Yeah. So here I just want to install wget to download the package. So let me go to wget here. Oh, is it already? It is there. Where is duplicate? You can see. Perfect. So here, sorry, I'm sorry, it's not directory. It's a file. All right. So now I just want to download the package. I just go back and copy this URL. We'll install Tomcat 8. Okay, so Tomcat 8 version. I'm just trying to install. Go to copy the tar file. I'm just copying the link address, come back here. So paste. All right. So let's try to download that Tomcat. So then step 3, download the from the internet. All right. Perfect. So now you can see that Tomcat zipped file is there. Then extract the file. So the first step, let's try to extract the Tomcat file. All right. So go back here. I just want to extract -c. Okay, no, sorry. ZXVF. Okay. So I just want to extract the file. So now you can see 2 files are there, which is extracted file. So after extractor, trigger the Catalina.sh file. So which is required spin up of Tomcat service. Okay. So that's quite important. We need to. All right. So we need to trigger the Catalina. So where can we trigger the Catalina? You just go back here, go to the location of extracted file. Here we do have the bin directory. You can see that. Get into instead of bin directory. Here we can see Catalina.sh. Right. So I'm sorry, not record. So here you can see Catalina.sh, which is here. Yes, Catalina.task here. This is the one. Okay, so now again, see how they have done the configuration. If I go and trigger startup.sh, in this startup.sh, they are triggering Catalina.sh. I will show you that. So here you can see grep. Yeah, so grep. Okay, I can see. I want to see Catalina, right? inside of startup.sh. Okay, see here, if I go and trigger, see here, executable file. So what I'm showing here, first I need to trigger startup.sh. So when I'm triggering startup.sh, it is calling some dependency function. Okay. And it is triggering the executable file, which is nothing but catalina.sh. Make sense? Is it making sense? Because when you are doing configuration in the real time, I mean, if you're facing any, I mean, they want to upgrade any binaries, right, for this application, not updation, it's a binary updation. Okay, so during the time we should know that what is your executable file, what is your bin path location, where should I change the binaries. Make sense? All right, so here you just go back here. So yeah, so here we need to start up that file. So what is the how to run this sh file?
./.
Perfect. So ./startup.sh. I just want to trigger. Now you can see it is triggering that executable file, which is Tomcat. I mean, in the inside of the Catalina, right? So it is triggering Tomcat. I mean, yeah, Tomcat services. Now you can see the port number for Tomcat, which is 80. So 80, it is listening now. So locally, the 8080 port number, it is opened, and we need to allow in the local firewall, open UFW, right? UFW, which is 8080. So now in the local firewall also, we just opened the port number, which is 8080. So now let's try to expose first internally does it is exposing. Let's try to understand. So it is your public IP. Let me copy this public IP. I'm just going to use the curl command using by A0. Does it is exposing? Perfect. So now the Tomcat, it is exposing, right? So the Tomcat services, which is exposing, you can go back and um, so let me try to see the Apache Tomcat port number, which is 80. Perfect. So version is 8. All right. So we have installed Apache Tomcat here. I'll just go back here. We triggered now step 6, pinging Tomcat UI. All right. So we could able to, reach that Tomcat UI. All right. So, but ideally stated, 8080 port number, it is not recommended in the real time. We should not use this. So we need to customize this port number. I mean, in terms of using the default port, let's try to customize the port number between 0 to 65535. So let's consider any port number we can take, or let's take the port number, which is 30,001 or 30,002, something we can customize the port number. All right. So step 7, need to change the port number. Yeah. So need to change the port number, right? Come back here. You just go here. Perfect. So where can we change the port number? Come back from this directory. Any configurations, if you want to do, you just go to this location of conf directory, get it instead of this location. So here you can see server.xml. Yes, see server.xml. So I just want to show you the port number. It's 8080. By default they have connect server.xml. All right, so here you can see yeah, see connector. Yeah, that's correct. This is the one connector, which is nothing but connecting to an end user. You can see here connector port number is 8080, right? So we need to replace this. We should not use the default port number. Let's try to customize 30,001 or some other port number. Let's try to do that. Okay, so I just want to get into, instead of the server.xml, I just want to, okay, so here I just want to go to the particular location. Okay, so now I directly switch into the port number location. You can see here. Make sense? So this port number we want to change in terms of using um, 8080. I just want to change it over here. Let's try to change. Yeah. So here, any port number, could you please? Anybody? Any port number you can.
2773, Karthik.
2773. Okay. All right. So let me do the changes over here. 277. Yeah. So 2773. Oh, 2773. All right. So this port number I'm just customizing. All right. So again, okay, I just want to save. Come back again and go back to bin directory. So I'm into this bin directory now. Oh, switching. All right. So now I'm into this bin directory. Again, we need to shut down. We don't have the option to restart because we have done the changes with your configuration locations, right? So when you are doing the changes with your configuration file, so we need to restart the services. Okay, but we don't have the option of restarting for the Tomcat. So we need to shut down and bring back. So again, we do have the script for shutting down. Okay, it's gonna be stopping the Catalina services, you can see. So now it stopped the Catalina services, and I just want to, yes, trigger. So now the port number which we use to call, right? So it's not going to be exposed. You can see failed to connect. Previously it was exposed, but now it is not exposing. Why? We have done the changes with the configuration file. So before, I just want to allow the port number, which is 2773. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Disable UFW, which is 2772. All right.
No,
Okay.
it is 2773, Karthik, not 2.
Yeah, agree. I just opened 2772 by mistake. Okay, okay, got it. So let me open this. Fine. So let's try to use the call command. I just want to, in terms of using two doubles, I'm just going to use 2773. Perfect. So now it is exposing 8080 should not allow. In terms of 8080, I just want to do the changes of two. Perfect. So now 2773, which is allowing. All right. So we have done the changes of your port number. Okay, so what are the steps which I'm doing? Probably day after tomorrow onwards, we are going to jump into the scripting language. Okay, so during that time, for each ad hoc command, we need to write it down the script. So when I'm going to trigger the script, all the package has to get done. Okay, so steps is quite important. All right, so now you can see that Apache Tomcat. So top of Apache Tomcat, we want to deploy the package of for jar, yeah. So in this case, what do we need to do in the sense we need to create the credential in your Apache Tomcat. So we need to create the credentials over here. Okay, so I mean, by default, we do have the Tomcat user. Did you heard about in real time? Used to say so some deployment want to get happen. So the developer used to ask the application, I mean, web server team or Tomcat team. So the Tomcat team has to generate the credential for respective application. Then that credential, the application team has to consolidate with the code after inserted that the credential into that code. Then when I'm triggering that application on top of your microservices architecture, so the particular microservices could able to sync up with your respective application. So when the release engineer or SRE engineers, when they're trying to deploy that application, so I just pull the code, automatically it's going to be syncing up with your respective application microservices. So that's pretty much important, right? So when you do the deployment in real time, to be ensure you have to create the credential using by the application server, then that credential we need to share to the developers. The developer has to insert that credential into that application. Then when I'm trying to deploy that application into that orchestration tool, it's going to be syncing up. So now I'm going to do that. So myself, I'm just going to creating the credential, using the credential. That credential first we need to share into the Jenkins server. Okay, so once if you share the credential into the Jenkins server, then the Jenkins server could understand the destination path. So if I'm triggering the deploy job, it could understand the destination path of your, deployment. So directly the Jenkins will push the package into the target application server or web server. All right. So now what I'm going to do, I just want to create the credential using by the Tomcat user. So then step, okay. So the 8th step, create. All right, so create an user for Tomcat. I just want to create an user for Tomcat. Then those credentials, let's try to share to the Jenkins. All right, so just go back and here you can see host manager and manager app. So these are the default user which is available. So I just want to trigger, let's try to access the manager app. All right, so it is popping access denied. So when it is popping access denied in Linux, what can be called, which is commented, right? So in Linux, if you commented in the sense, which is denying, correct? So what it is throwing an error, you can see if you're trying to access that user, you have to edit in this file, okay? So in this file, we need to edit, you need to make uncomment. So once if you made uncomment, then you can able to see the user dashboard. All right, so let you go back here. Okay, so now do the changes. Let's try to put this way. Make uncomment. Perfect. Make an uncomment of okay for an user in contest dot XML location. All right. Okay, so just go back here. So again, I need to come back from this location to go to the conf location. So here you can see contester.xml. Perfect. So in this file, you can see what are the oops. Okay, I just want to see what are the things that they have commented. Okay, got it. So let me try to get into inside of this contest. Okay, so here you can see. Okay, so here you can see commented, where they commented. Oh, okay. 1 second. What is the error? It's telling then if you have configured already manager application. Okay. Triggered, you will need to reset that. Okay. Permission, all right. Okay, got it. So what they're telling in the sense, they do have some dependency file. Okay. Okay, and rules. Perfect. So what they're telling, they do have the dependency. Don't do any configuration. I mean, don't touch with your contest.xml. Just go and let me use the find command. Here itself, we do have the two usernames. I just want to use find name, which is contest dot. Okay. Oops, sorry. Find hyphen name. Find hyphen name. Test George Excel. Oops, sorry. It's not fine. It's fine. Expression. Okay, find. Why it is debugging? Interesting. Okay, conf.x. Tester.xml here. Okay.
No need to change inbound rules, right?
Inbound rule.
On server.
No. We are creating user. 1 second. So find. Find. What's getting debug? Sorry.
Inbound rule of security group.
No, we are not doing any firewall configuration. We are doing user configuration.
What are we trying to do, Karthik?
Sorry?
What are we trying to do here? Are we trying to find context.xml file?
No. We are making uncomment. Okay, so it does some dependency file. See, here it is denying, right? So they are telling, you can see here, manager GUI.
Yeah,
and
that thing we can check in Tomcat users.xml, na?
No. See, Tomcat. Okay, see here, Tomcat.user.xml. Here you cannot able to create and use. I mean, you cannot able to make uncomment.
We already have few users defined in this Tomcat users.xml.
See here. Sorry. See, Tomcat.xml. See, you can able to create the username password, but before that we need to uncomment this. Getting my point? See, you can add the user, but it should allow, right? The user should access, then only using that credential he can able to log in. Okay, wait, I'll show you. Wait. Somewhere I have done this. 1 second. So they are keep on upgrading.
We can grep for context.xml in that entire directory, no? Grep context.xml.
1 second, 1 second, 1 second. This is no. Somewhere I have done for other batch. These all are creating users. This is for Red Hat. That's a second.
Because usually what we do not find dot or slash, dot will be for the parent directory, slash will be in the from root. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's correct. See, now it is popping. Oh, I did mistake, I think so. Oh, sorry.
Exactly. After name you were defining slash.
Okay. Sorry. It's my bad. All right. Thank you. Great. So now you can see two files. One is a host manager and the manager. Correct. So we don't need to touch this. This is what they are telling, right? Restrictions. Okay. Perfect. So now we need to do the changes. Let me get into instead of this location, host manager. Okay, so here, just come down. Allow option. Yeah, so here, this is the one they commented. So completely it is denying, you can see. So in this tag, completely it is denying. Correct. So I just want to make it a separate bracket. All right. And here also, let me open that. Cool. I'm just allowing that to access the user. Correct, right? Let me try. 1 second. Okay, so one more, one more file also we do have, which is manager, right? Okay, so again, I just want to do it over here. That is correct, right? Manager UI, Tomcat user. Okay, so let's try. Okay. So again, I just want to restart shut down and start up. We can, okay, so we can able to see now. Let me hit on this. Perfect. See here, now it is allowing. Great. So what I have done in the sense, I made uncomment. So now it is allowing. Previously it was denying to access the application server, I mean Tomcat server. Now it is allowing. So now, as you stated, right, so we can create the username password. That username password we can create in tomcat.xml. Make sense? Here. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So now let you come back here. So you can go to, okay, make uncomment. You can, the location, which is, this is the one. Okay, I'm just copying that. Second. Perfect. So here, so go to this location. I think so they have upgraded. So go to this location. Sorry. Okay, and here also. Perfect. So in this location, you need to make an comment. Okay, so cool. Next to what we need to do, let's try to create the credential. Then only we could able to log in. Correct. It has the default syntax. I'll show you how where can we create the username password. So you just go to again conf directory. Tomcat user.xml. So go to this location. Perfect. So here okay, so I just want to go to which file 43. Perfect. So here let's try to add. Already they do have some default syntax, but I don't want to use the default. Let's try to create our own username password. Okay, so then it is considering Tomcat user redirecting. Okay. Okay. All right. Perfect. So I just want to create the credential. So I have taken from official website. I will share across to everyone, which is Tomcat. Right. So this is the one recently they have upgraded. So just want to put it over here. Perfect. So here the username, see, manager UI. Manager UI is nothing but your Tomcat user. Okay. So that is what I showed you in, I mean, when we were editing in the contest, I mean, that manager and host manager location, it was manager UI. So here I just want to give ABC password. Okay, let it be fine, no problem. And here the username, can we give any name? ABC, fine, let it be. So the username also ABC and password also ABC. Let's try. Is it allowing? It's not redirecting to the director. So we can shut down. Start up. Do refresh. So what is your username? ABC, right? ABC, ABC. Perfect. So now it is allowing. Great. So now we can deploy here. We just created a Tomcat credential, and so this credential we need to share to the Jenkins server. Then Jenkins could able to deploy on top of Tomcat. So here, come back, step 12. Step 12, create user credential. Makes sense. So let me copy and paste it into the chat box. I shared. Any questions? Any questions on this still? Still, we do have some pending configuration. That credential we need to impose into Jenkins, that we need to install plugin, and we can trigger that. I mean, we need to create the job and we can deploy. So far, do you have any questions?
Karthik, but we are not supposed to add the credentials in the XML file, right?
Hmm?
Is there any other way? Like, we are not supposed to add the credentials in the XML file, right?
No, we
Uh,
have to add. You mean this file? You are
yeah,
you are talking about
Tomcat users.
yeah, okay. Now ask me your question. What's your question?
No, I was asking like we are not supposed to add the credentials, right, in the XML file.
Okay.
Is there any other way? Like, is there any role we can create and select that?
No. See, this is mandatory. In real time, what can we do in the sense we can create a copy of file from this. Okay, do the changes over here. But see, this Tomcat, which is done by Tomcat, their organization itself, they have done. So we are based on our requirement, we are changing their configuration file. So it is, don't consider it is a user location. User location is nothing but Tomcat user location. Here I think so you are getting confused when I mentioned user, right?
Yeah.
The user is nothing but, see here, uh, did you are you fresher or working?
No working, Karthik.
Okay. Which domain? Navya, sorry.
This one, DBA.
Okay. Okay, let me put this way. So here I want to deploy that application. Okay. So when I want to deploy the application, I need to talk to DB team. DB team has to share the credential. I hope you know config file, right?
Yeah.
So this inside of this config file, you need to share your credential, all the stuffs. The database username, password, your port number, your all the stuffs, your schema table, correct? Navya?
I'm not sure about the password, but yeah, apart from that, port number and everything we will share.
Okay, so inside of this config map, you need to share this config map. You can insert into application. When I'm trying to deploy application, it's going to be syncing up with the particular databases, right? Correct.
Yeah.
Same activity I'm doing for web server or application server. Create an user. Insert into the config file. I am going to share into the application. So when I'm trying to deploy the application, it's going to be residing top of this web server and syncing up with your DB.
Oh, yeah, got it, Karthik.
Okay, so this for this perspective, Tomcat, they have given the default user location. So ideally, in real time, as you mentioned, we should not touch the actual file. We need to take the copy from this actual file and do the changes over here. If you do, if you do any mistake in the production server, it's going to be reflecting into the copy file. Duplicate file. It's not going to be impacted into that actual file. So that actual file and copy of, the duplicate file should be in the same location, because when you're hitting the traffic, it's going to be checking that the the validation is going to be happen in this location. All right. Others, do you have any questions?
Hello, Pati.
Mhm.
In that context.xml, you
Mhm.
did comment that, right?
No, I did not touch the contest.xml. That is what I was, they were given the statement, right? So go and check inside of this file. Inside of
Yes,
this
that
file,
is
we
I'm
do.
saying.
Mhm.
You did commented like exclamatory hyphen like that
Yes.
2 line, but
Uncommented.
you said, oh, that
I
is
did uncomment.
exclamatory hyphen means commented, right?
No, I am making the separate. See here, it was inside of this file, allow command was the right. Correct. Inside of the file,
Okay.
okay, everything they have, denied. So what I did, I separately opened this. I mean, this condition I separately,
Okay, I got it.
okay, I just created, I mean, I just skipped it from this syntax. So now it is the denying option, it is allowing now. Yes, you are
Okay.
right. So this is commented, that's correct.
Yes, correct. Thank you.
Right. Cool then. So we'll wind up till over here. Again, we'll do it on tomorrow. All right. Cool guys. Thank you all. Bye-bye.